Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Veda Mindset Podcast. Today, I want to talk about my personal life and struggles, which I feel like I'm sure I talk about them a lot during my episodes, but I have a lot of anger in me. I have a lot of anger recently. I recently got so effed over. And this made me realize how it doesn't matter how close you are to someone. It doesn't matter how well that person seems on the outside. It doesn't matter how long you have known them. Anyone is capable of doing some really fucked up shit to you, because you cannot account for someone's trauma and how that's going to explode and catch you on fire. I always thought you could see the signs in people. I was very much the person that always says you can always see the signs in someone if they're capable of doing some fucked up shit to you. And if you can't see the signs, then you just need to get smarter. I always said that, and that was a very ignorant statement, and I am glad to am finally be changing my perspective. I always am okay with changing my perspectives in life. I think that's a very, very healthy thing to do. If you want to gain intelligence, you have to drop the pride and be able to form new thoughts and beliefs, and that is definitely a belief that I no longer will hold anymore, because when I found out this certain person betrayed me and really did some really fucked up shit to me, I just couldn't blame myself this time. Every single time somebody does me wrong, I always find specific reasons where I could blame myself. I'm like, you know what? They did this, and this. I already saw these signs in the beginning and I chose to ignore them. It's my fault. And this time, I literally could not talk to myself like that. I could not do that. I would literally break down. I could not tell myself that I should have seen this coming, or I should have saw the signs, or I should have just seen the type of person they were, because I literally didn't see any signs. And I'm a very observant person. I fucking study psychology. I am obsessed with analyzing people. Not even for the fact that I'm in school for it. This is a given passion of mine. Something I don't stop doing. I analyze people all the time. I'm always thinking in a psychological lens all the time. And even I could not see through this person. I could not have ever accounted for what they were going to do to me. I would have never known. And it made me realize that sometimes people do shitty things and you will have never seen it coming. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how good you are at scoping people out and reading people. Sometimes you meet people and they fuck you over, and there was nothing you could have ever done to see through it. And I'm realizing that now. And the reason why I never viewed life in that way was because it's so fucking chaotic. What do you mean there are chances that I will still meet someone who will betray me, even if I do everything right, even if I analyze them right, even if all the conditions were right, even if I picked this person so carefully? What do you mean I can still, develop relationships with people who will fuck me over? And I don't like the idea that sometimes I can't control everything. And this experience made me realize just the truth about the human experience, the truth about life. And I am so addicted to doing everything psychologically right. I'm so addicted to understanding people's patterns and life patterns. So I can try to just be as self aware as possible and make the most self aware decisions. And even so, I still ended up connecting with the person that did me so wrong. Like, disgustingly wrong. Like, I am disgusted by this person. And this time, I couldn't blame myself. I could not take that route because I did everything I ever could to, like, pick people in my life correctly. Like, I did everything I could to, like, see someone for who they truly are. But unfortunately, if there are people who are pathological liars, like, I'm sorry, like, I don't live my life in complete paranoia. Like, I am a very trusting person, but like, aside from the fact that I do analyze people a lot and I do take my time when I meet people, I am a trusting person and I don't want to change that. Like, I'm not going to become a paranoid person, but I can't account for, like, sick pathological liars. Like, I can't. And I realize, like, sometimes you just go through things in life that are unavoidable. No matter how smart you are, you will still go through obstacles in life that will humble you. And it's not like this experience, like, particularly, I don't want to use the word humbled. It's just that it made me realize that it doesn't matter how smart or self-aware I am, that sometimes you still connect with people who have so much fucking trauma and that their trauma fucking explodes in your face. Like, just because you are a very self-aware person and you have done a lot of inner work on yourself, it doesn't change how much trauma or lack of inner work the other person has done. It doesn't change that sometimes you can connect with people who just aren't on your mental wavelength. And I thought that wasn't true. I thought that when you get to a certain level of self-awareness and emotional intelligence, that you only connect with people like that. I truly believe that. I talked like that. I gave that advice. I said, like, if you keep connecting with these types of people, then you're the one that needs to change. And that's only true in certain circumstances. Like, you know, things are nuanced. Advice is nuanced. It really depends on the circumstance. But, like, I started to realize, like, sometimes you can be very self-aware. You can have thought you have done everything right. You can have read the person as well as you have read them. And even still, you end up connecting with someone who betrays you and is actually really fucked up inside. And I'm done blaming myself. I'm not going to blame myself. What I realized was my self-awareness and my emotional intelligence, it changes the way I relate to pain. It changes the way I related to this person betraying me. I don't take what they did personally. I know that it's a reflection of their pain. Like, they're probably suffering so bad inside for them to have done what they did to me. Like, no sane fucking person would ever have taken the actions that that person took. And I realized, I thought that I would never connect with someone who would fuck me over like that. I thought, I change, the world changes. And yes, but there's nuances. Like, you really can't account for fucking pathological liars. Like, you can't. Like, you can't account for people who are so good at lying because they lie to themselves. You can't account for that. So I chose this person under the conditions that they were a certain type of human being because that's all they showed me. That's all I saw. Throughout every single experience with this person, I only saw a specific type of person. And that's the reason I chose that connection. If they were outwardly showing like any sort of signs, like I wouldn't have let them into my life. But so I realized, like, it doesn't matter how smart I am. It doesn't matter how many books I read. It doesn't matter how good I am at reading people. Sometimes you meet people who are so fucking good at lying because they just lie to themselves all the time. Like, people who lie to themselves, it's so hard to see through them because they almost believe in their fake life. They believe their fake life. So if they believe it, how are you going to see through it? It's so much harder. And I realized, it's not my fucking fault, and there's only so much I could have done, and now in this season of my life, I'm giving myself a lot more compassion. Like, if you're anything like me that really tries to hold yourself accountable and always takes the blame, it's always, I should have known better. I should have known better. I should have known better. If you're anything like me, I need you to fucking pause and give yourself some self-compassion, because sometimes you couldn't have known better. Sometimes you did everything you fucking could to avoid a certain issue, to avoid certain people. You are everything you wanted in someone. Like, you have become very self-aware. You are very loving. You are very open. So you expect that when you meet people and you like get to know them and understand them, you think that they're like you. Like, you think that, I'm connecting to someone that is like me. And sometimes it's not the case. No matter how much of a beautiful person you are, there are still fucked up people in the world. And that's what I realized. Like, it doesn't matter sometimes how much inner work I do. Like, that doesn't take away the possibility of me meeting someone and getting betrayed by them. And of course, as this nuance, like, if you're constantly picking people like to form connections with that are openly like messed up, that's the part where I say, like, maybe like choose better, maybe like do some self-reflection, because I think like you're contributing to this sort of pattern. But if you are doing everything you can, if you are doing inner work, if you are trying to get to know people and like are not jumping into connections, and you're like really taking your time and seeing the person for who they are, don't fucking blame yourself for being a trusting person. Don't blame yourself for having an open heart. Like, don't blame yourself for seeing the good in someone when that's literally all they showed you. Like, you didn't even perceive anything maladaptive in the person, like too maladaptive to leave. Like, so don't blame yourself for seeing the good in people. Like, you literally sometimes could not have ever known that someone will hurt you in the way they do. And do not let social media and this toxic positivity and this toxic self-growth like narrative make you blame yourself, because I did that for so long. Like, that toxic positivity shit, like that self-growth journey you see like on social media, like, it paints this narrative that as soon as you grow as a person, you only meet positive people. As soon as you are like so loving and so healed, you only connect with healed people. And I'm sorry, that's not the truth. That is not the truth. And I said that and I was wrong. That's not the truth. What happens is like you are able to see signs a lot faster, but that doesn't have anything to do with people who are so fucking good at lying and manipulating. Like, especially if you're a trusting person. Like, I am a very trusting person. And honestly, that's something my parents tell me, like, it is also a downfall, but I'm not changing that about myself. I'm a very, very trusting person, and I take people for who they say they are. Obviously, not always blindly. Like, I'm still looking at your characteristics, who your friends are, how you interact with your family. I'm like vetting you out. Like, I'm literally like I'm watching like who you are. I'm not like an idiot. I understand psychological patterns. I understand how people carry themselves. Like, I understand things very, very deeply. But sometimes I can't account for the whole world. Like, I'm not a superhero. I can't like read people's minds. And I'm not gonna get mad at myself for having an open heart and trusting someone when they gave me no reason not to trust them. So do not change that about yourself. Like, if someone really betrayed you, like, if you did everything you could, if you did your best in like vetting the person and like understanding who they were, and you knew them for a while, and like you did not see any signs that they would ever do that to you, don't beat yourself up for not being able to see through someone 110% clearly. It's not your fault. So, and I will be the first to say sometimes it is your fault. Sometimes, you do shit and you shoot yourself in the foot. I will be the first to tell someone, like, hey dude, like, I really think like you kind of like brought this on yourself. Like, I think you're making these decisions that are causing these things to happen to you repeatedly. I have always been the one to take accountability for the positions I put myself in. Sometimes it is your fault, and sometimes it's fucking not. And I realize that now. I blamed myself for every single thing ever. Every single unfortunate event I went through, I blamed myself. And you know what? That served me. It served me because it made me change a lot. It made me realize that I was the common denominator to a lot of experiences. But that frame of mind is actually very hurtful if you don't understand the balance, and you don't understand sometimes life happens and it wasn't your fault. Sometimes you did everything you could do. Sometimes you thought you picked the right friend or the right relationship. Sometimes you think you saw like everything deep about them. Like you thought you saw all the signs that they were a person you should, form a connection with. Sometimes you think you did everything right, and you will still get burned. Because we cannot account for the demons that are living inside other people. We can only do so much. We can only take care of ourselves and our own demons. But apart from that, you cannot account for the way someone's trauma will come up for them and burn you along with it. And you need to start giving yourself compassion. You need to start giving yourself compassion, because blaming yourself and having that I should have known better talk only serves for specific circumstances. But if you know that you couldn't have known better, then that's fucking okay. The whole thing with that was I hated admitting that to myself. I hated admitting that I couldn't have known better, because what that means is that I am subject to life's randomness and chaos. The whole reason I understand psychology so well was to avoid pain, is to avoid people who would betray me. It was to avoid getting hurt, but I realized no matter how many patterns I understand, I am not, void of getting hurt by people. I can't account for other people and other life circumstances. I can't see all the patterns. I can't read minds. I'm not a superhero. I can only do so much. So what I realized was I'm going to keep trusting. I'm going to keep having an open heart. You need to keep having an open heart. Let me tell you something. There is nothing worse you can do than letting someone's pain like decay you too. Someone who betrays you and does some really messed up shit to you, that's because they are literally suffering inside. Nobody that has unconditional love within them will do such out-of-pocket behaviors. We're not perfect, but out-of-pocket, meaningful, mean shit. Like, that person is planning on doing fucked up shit to you. That person is intentionally doing things that are hurting your feelings. That person is living in hell inside their minds. And the worst thing you could do for yourself is let someone living in hell take you with them to hell. Because that's what happens. If you let your heart grow cold, if you stop trusting people, if you start trying to be like the person who hurt you, if you try to make this 180 shift in the name of never getting like betrayed again, the only person you're hurting is yourself. You do not want to become like the people who hurt you. There is no pleasure there. Like, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter how that person comes off. They are living in their own fucking hell. And guess what? That's also their punishment. A big thing with this was, I was like, damn, like, I'm not even the type of person that gets revenge. Like, this person fucked over literally the nicest human, because I have never been the type of woman to get even. I've never been the type of woman to try to bite back. I've never been the type of woman to like do anything to be mean back because someone betrayed me. And I realized that it's okay because their punishment is the fact that they get to live with themselves. Because guess what? The people who hurt you intentionally, like they're living through their trauma and it's fucking exploding on you and they're like betraying you and intentionally knowing it, their fucking punishment is the fact they get to fucking live with themselves. Because that person is gonna go the rest of their life assuming the worst in people. They're gonna see the darkness in everyone. They're never gonna be able to trust people because of what they knowingly have done to others. They get to live with themselves in their head. You think sometimes, people don't get their punishment. Life seems normal for them. Nothing, they never got consequences for what they did to you. I'm telling you, their consequence is the fact that they live with this shit in their inner world. Their inner world, their entire mind, everything in them in their day-to-day is their fucking punishment. They are unhappy. They are fucking suffering. And they live life with paranoia because of what they have done to other people. But you, and people like me who are openly trusting and still have an open heart, we are the ones who are winning in the end because our inner world is filled with unconditional love. It's filled with trust. We are the ones that get to honestly be living in mental heaven. Those people are living in their fucking hell, but they create their hell. Their actions create their hell. What you do to others, you fucking live in that fucking internal world. You are walking everywhere in life knowing what you have done to other people, and you're looking at life with that lens of darkness. People who don't operate that way, people who are very loving and have fucking integrity and treat people with respect, we're living with the lens of love. We see the world in the lens of love, and that's our fucking win. So just understand, anybody who has hurt you in the most effed up ways, anyone who lacks integrity, their punishment is the hell they have created in their own fucking head. Nobody does harm to someone who isn't already living in their internal hell. And they are the ones that get to walk around the rest of their lives living through that lens of life. While people like you and me still get to just view the world in a more lighter perspective through the lens of love and trust, because you will heal from the betrayal. I will heal from this betrayal, and I will keep my heart open. And that's what I'm grateful for. That person who hurt me, they're the ones that are going to experience, that's their fucking karma. That's their fucking karma. That they're going to have to walk through the rest of their fucking life being paranoid as fuck. Because we project our inner worlds outward. How we are as a person, we project it outward. So anyone who is doing really fucked up shit to people, anyone who lacks integrity, anyone who is knowingly hurting people, they will never be able to develop a genuine love. They will never be able to develop genuine connections and trust people. They will never be able to develop the concept for true connection and true depth and true honesty because they don't live like that themselves. They will never be able to see the goodness in people because all they are embodying is the darkness in them. So you project what you have internally. All they're gonna scope out in people is the darkest parts of them. They're never gonna trust people. They're gonna be paranoid. They're never gonna form a deep, meaningful, genuine connection because they project from their inner world. And if your inner world is all about your unhealed trauma, where it's making you lack integrity, it's making you hurt people knowingly, it's making you be mean to people, it does not matter how many good things you might have in life, you are living in your own made hell because of who you are operating as. So I just want to take this moment to say, if you got fucked over by someone, if someone really betrayed you, do not let that make your heart grow cold. Do not let that make your heart grow cold. You need to understand that people only hurt you because they are suffering inside. Do not let them take you down with them. Keep your heart open. Yeah, it's painful. Yeah, you're gonna have to heal from it. Yeah, it might sting. It might be scary to trust someone again, but leave your heart open. keep trusting people and understand like not everyone is going to be like the person who hurt you. Not everyone is like that. You might think that it's like that in the beginning because that's just a defense mechanism. Whenever something happens, immediately your mind is going to avoid every single similar looking variable to that. Like anything that looks similar to the circumstance that hurt you or the person that hurt you, you're gonna like stamp like bad. Don't talk to this person, or like don't associate yourself with this. But not everyone is the same person. You have to understand like every single person is different, and just because someone hurt you doesn't mean you're gonna meet the same person again. And if you keep having that mentality, you're gonna let your heart grow cold, and you're not going to be able to experience the goodness of life because you let that person take you down with them because of their pain. It wasn't even from you. Anyone that hurts you, it's from their own trauma. And it's very easy to let someone's trauma like infect your whole entire world. But I really, really urge you, do not let someone's trauma and their hell take you to hell with them. Like, keep your heart open, keep your trust open, and know that you're gonna come across people who are good-hearted. I don't want to say good-hearted because, it's really like people are going through trauma. Like, what I mean is you're gonna come across people who have integrity and who would never betray you. But if you keep your heart closed and you don't trust anyone, it's so much harder to meet people that would actually treat you better than the last person who betrayed you. Also, I want to mention, whenever somebody hurts us, it's really hard to process because what happens is if it's someone that you didn't expect would hurt you, your mind has to kind of go back and it's like it starts rewriting the experiences to fit the new narrative you have of that person. If you were hurt by someone that you believed was a person that had integrity, was good to you, like you never believed they would do that. What happens is after you figured out that they have intentionally betrayed you, it kind of like warps your whole entire concept of them and like kind of like colors all the memories you have with them in a different color. And your ego mind is trying to conceptualize who that person is now. So what I find with myself is like I will literally have flashbacks with this person because my psyche is trying to relive the experiences but with the newfound information. So all of the experiences I had with this person were very good, but with the newfound information, my psyche is trying to go back and almost change the flavor, the color of all the experiences I had with them. And it stings. It stings so bad. And every time it happens, I want to push it away. It's really hard to process. And I'm explaining this psychologically because I'm sure like I'm not the only one that goes through this whenever like when your concept of someone completely shatters, your psyche has to make sense of it. Like you have storylines of this person, you have a concept of who that person is. And when that person does something that completely diverts from who you believe they are, your whole entire system wants to rewrite all of your experiences with them. And that is the part that hurts the most because I feel like my psyche wants to take away all of these good experiences I have with them. And it's too painful. When you have a long history of good experiences with someone, it is very painful when your psyche tries to go back in time and like change the flavor of the emotional experiences. It's very hard. But what I've come to realize is, maybe I don't have to do that. Maybe I don't have to go that route. Maybe I can have this understanding that sometimes people do hurtful things, but maybe my experiences with them were true and genuine, at least for me. And even if it wasn't for the other person, I am not destroying those memories. I don't want to destroy those memories. And it's okay if you don't want to destroy those memories. It's like a fluctuation. Like there's going to be like certain ways you heal from betrayal. There's going to be certain defense mechanisms, your psyche and places to kind of help you get through the pain. And a defense mechanism a lot of people go through is making the villain out of the person. Like they have to taint the whole entire story of the person and make them the villain. But sometimes depending on your connection to that person and how long they were in your life, making them the villain causes more harm than good. It kind of like tears you to shreds sometimes. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it makes it worse. And sometimes the person is not the villain. Like sometimes I don't have to make the person the villain to completely move on. And I don't want to. That's not the path I want to take as of right now so far. I only found out this a couple weeks ago, but over time your mind is gonna like start trying out new defense mechanisms to get over like betrayal by someone, to understand who the person is in relation to the context you just found out, and it's very normal. But for me, I realized like I don't want to make the whole entire connection to this person like bad because of what I found out. I want to cherish the memories and the experiences, because it hurts too much to taint all of them in a villain narrative. It hurts too much to believe that maybe none of it was real, and I'm not gonna go that way. I refuse to let my psyche heal that way. So what I realized was the love and the depth of the connection, no matter what the other person was up to, or no matter the betrayal, or no matter who that person was, who they truly were, the relationship and like the good parts of the connection is a reflection of my inner world and the unconditional love I have in myself. So I will fucking keep my fucking good experiences. I will keep the nice memories, because I know it's also a reflection of my positivity, of my capability to love, of my depth, of my trust. It's not just the memory with the person. It's a reflection of me, and I'm not destroying that. I'm not destroying the emotional experiences I created with the love I had inside. So if you're anything like me, where you don't want to villainize the person who hurt you because that hurts too much, that's also okay. You do not have to villainize the person who hurt you if that like tears you to shreds. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. You have to choose for yourself what way you want your psyche to heal from the experience. But there's not one size fits all. I just realized, two things can be true at once. I could have really good experiences with someone. I could see a lot of good in someone. I can remember a lot of good experiences and like good moments. And that person can also be really fucked up and lack integrity. And I would like to hold both as true, because only holding the villain story is a way of healing that I don't want to heal anymore. I have healed through betrayal, through villain stories, and it really messes you up. It depending on how it affects you, like villainizing someone and how you maneuver through pain that someone inflicts on you can make you grow very, very cold. And like I said, growing very, very cold because somebody hurt you is not the life path you want to take. You are literally shooting yourself in the foot. The way you want to maneuver through this is understanding that that person hurt you because they are fucking deeply traumatized, and they lack integrity, and they lack self-respect, and they lack security, and they hate themselves. They get to fucking live with that. Do not let them taint your persona too. Do not let them make you grow cold. Separate yourself from their pain. Understand that what they did is not personal. Yeah, it fucking hurts, and it hurts, and let it hurt, but just know that it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the fact that that person lacks integrity, they lack self-esteem, they hate themselves, they have no concept of what it means to treat people with respect, and they get to live with that. They get to live with that. They're the ones that are hurting in the end. Don't let them drag you down with them by turning into a cold-hearted, untrusting person. That is the worst thing you can do for yourself. Anyway, I'm gonna end this episode here. Thank you for listening to my rant and to my anger, and I hope hearing my thoughts maybe helps you in anything you're going through. I will see you guys in the next episode.